Right, 안녕하십니까. We'll begin with the class. 준비? All right, just a little warm up to start. If we can all get our feet shoulder width apart and our hands up, and we're going to do a deep squat. Keep your feet flat on the floor, toes facing straight ahead and dropping as low as you can. And then we're just going to do a little bounce. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 열, 아홉, 열. And then bring the toes out. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 열, 아홉, 열. Then push the heels out, and you're going to widen your stance. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 열, 아홉, 열. Then bring the toes out. 하나, 둘, 셋, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 열, 아홉, 열. And then bring the heels out. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 열, 아홉, 열. Then move over to the left side, dropping into the Cheharan Jase. Keep the back up straight. Little bouncing. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 열, 아홉, 열. And switch other direction and drop. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 열, 아홉, 열. Use your hands if you need to, side to side. 하나, 둘. If you can keep your back straight, you won't need to do that. 하나, 둘. Try not to move your feet as you're moving side to side, just pushing using your leg muscles. 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. And then turn into a lunge, working your hip flexor. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 열, 아홉, 열. And push your hips forward, look up. And straighten the legs, hands on either side, stretching. Switch other direction into a nice lunge. Notice how the back heel's up, dropping that back knee. And a little bouncing. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 열, 아홉, 열. And then push your hips forward, look up. And straighten the legs. Hands on either side. And coming up to center, working your hips. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯. Switching. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯. Okay, today working hugel jase and a couple of more of the combination techniques. So here our feet come together, left leg's going to step out to the side, I'm mirroring you. And then as you step into a back stance, front leg reaches out in front, supporting knee bends, but notice that my belt doesn't move. Rather than coming here and dropping, you want to make sure that the hip is pulled back. So as you sit down, you really try and sit on that back leg. Center of gravity from your belt knot should go right on the inside of your supporting foot. That should be the line. Knees bowed out at 90 degrees. And just hands are up, coming up. And we're just going to sink down 10 times. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, and hold. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. And up, turn, and we're going to try the other side. So same thing, stepping out and dropping. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, and hold. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열, and up. Okay, then from here, we're going to work the yapodorigi. Remember that the belt knot moves in one direction, the upper body in the other. What that's going to do is create some tension in your oblique side. That's good. That's going to help you with the extension of the kick. As you create that tension, you want to try and lean your upper body towards the kick. So the turning of the hip, the opposite direction, hopefully turns that foot so that the toes are pointed more down, with the heel up. And then the upper body twist and the lean is going to contract your obliques, keeping your body weight moving towards the target rather than away. So as you do this kick, you shouldn't see yourself leaning back. Rather, you're leaning into the kick. Okay, the supporting foot, remember, as you extend, pivots, and then as it drops, pivots back. So toes facing forward. As you perform the kick, the supporting foot's toes turn away from the kick, and then the toes come back to the center. You do that by lifting the heel slightly off the floor and allowing the ball of your foot to pivot. Okay, over to the left side first, and 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. And switching to the right side, and 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. And hands on the hips, a few circles. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, switching. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯. 준비. Left leg stepping, 하단 수로막기, 돌격수로. So first technique, going into that back stance, 하단 수로. 하나. As you do that, remember that the hip is reaching forward and then pulls back. And as you're feeling that hip pulling back, the front hip is snapping so that the front hip snaps back as the weight drops. Okay, so from the 하단 수도, backhand extends, stepping into the 청골 자세, 역수도. Okay, then from here, the back leg steps forward, prepare, hand on the hip, hand on the shoulder, step, 하단 수로막기, backhand reach, 역수로. Set, and then we'll back it up if you need to. And again, 하나, 둘, set, and we back it up. Moving into the 충남 수로막기. So here we prepare, hands go on the hip. 충남 수로, fingertips at chin height. Bend, front hand drops for a parry. Step, kwansu. Make sure you understand the weapon so that the middle finger pulls back. Again, 둘, set. And we'll shuffle back. Net. 다섯. 여섯. And 바로. That's the hugul jase, chungul jase transition techniques. From the hugul jase, obviously this stance is not nearly as long as the chungul jase. Also, you're walking on a tightrope where your heels are lined up, more or less. But in the front stance, the feet are more or less shoulder width apart. So in order to move into that transition, remember that you step forward and off to the side to move from hugul jase to chungul jase. So let's just do 3 more of each combination. 준비. Left leg stepping, 하단 수로막기 돌격수로. 하나. 둘. set. And we back it up. 중난 수로마키 톨로관수. 하나. 둘. 셋. And 바로. Inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. Now we work on the transition between the 사그립 자세 and the hugul 자세. 3 basic stances in Subakdo: Changol, hugol, 사그립. And so then what we do in the combinations is learn how we transition between those different stances. So if you're in the 사그립 자세 and from here you want to move into the hugul, you simply turn the hip and pull the hip back into position. And have a side view here, pull the hip back, feel the turn into position. Okay, so let's all try that. Let's get one leg forward and let's just try that hip pull. So here, hands on the hip, 하나, and back. So you see how the foot slides as the hip rotates and you sink into the back leg. And back, 둘, back, set, back, and again from this position, 넷, and 다섯. And then switching feet. Let's try from here. Here, front hip pulls. 하나, back. 둘, back. Set, back. And from a side view, 넷, 다섯. Okay, so that's that transition. So now if you're in a hugul jase and you want to move into a 사그립 jase, this hip's pulled back, so you push the hip forward and step into the 사그립. Okay, so now we pull back, 하나, and then push. 하나, 둘. 하나, 둘. 하나, 둘. Last one, 하나, and 둘. You see, it's just the reverse. And then we switch feet. Hup, chip. And think pull, 하나, push, and turn. Inhale, push and turn. 둘. 하나, 둘. 하나, 둘. Last one, 하나, and 둘. 바로. 2 combinations, 횡진 공격, 옆막기, 역진 공격, 횡진 공격. Let's back it up to prepare. 준비. Left leg stepping forward, 횡진 공격. Weight shifts towards the right, left hand chambers, right hand extends, 1. Step into the 횡진, 하나. Inhale. hugul, 옆막기, side block. So now we're in the 사그립 and we're going to pull into the hugul jase and perform the 옆막기. Remember on this that the energy in the 옆막기 is back. So you see how my primary direction is back rather than primary direction up. Then from here, drive the weight forward, extend. Step 횡진 공격. Inhale. Roll the shoulders. Pull the hip back. 둘. Set. And then let's shuffle back. 하나. 둘. set. Roll. Next combination is the 역진 공격, 횡진 공격. This is probably the hardest one just because you have to get into the 역진 공격 position. 역진 공격 is a reverse punch in a back stance. So we'll back it up, 준비. As the left leg steps, we're going to cross our arms in preparation for like haranmaki or really pseudo 공격. So here, we'll inhale and perform that pseudo. And what that does is it prepares for the punch. So you step into that back stance, pseudo, and then pivot, 역진 공격. When you do the 역진 공격, it's important that your supporting heel lifts up and you pivot on the ball of the foot. If you turn your hip without that, there's unnecessary knee torque. So you just pivot on the ball of your foot, and that allows your hip to turn forward in a healthy way. So just a little tip. So the left leg will step, feet come together. Step into that back stance, inhale. And then one. See the 역진 공격. And now the hip is loaded for the 횡진 공격. So we're moving from that back stance to the side stance. Feet together, elbows touch, step, inhale, 1, 2. Again, and then we'll shuffle back. Feet come together, step. 1, 2. Again, 둘. And last one, set. 어로. 쇼. All right, so those are our combination techniques that we'll review today. We also have the 옆구리기, the side hook kick review. 준비. We already worked on the 옆구리기, the 옆포도리기, the side stretch kick. Going to warm up the body and get the hips moving in the proper direction. So now as we go in the 옆구리기, let's get left leg forward. In the hugel jase, because I think it's easier to perform the kick from the front leg. So from here, we're going to bring the leg back in a side kick preparation, a defensive side kick preparation. Let's just try that 3 times. 하나, with a nice inhale. 둘, set. Okay, then from here, you're going to bring the knee up, and you're going to throw that side kick, but at an angle, not straight out in front of you, at an angle. So you want to feel that nice side kick. Let's try it 3 times. 하나, 둘, and set. You really have to be able to do that side kick before you can start practicing the hook kick. Now, once you're in that position, now you hook your knee as it comes across and your hip turns. You're going to turn the hip. So if my left leg extends out into this angle, it looks like this. My foot goes out, and then my knee hooks in. So it's a 1, 2. So I want all of you just to try that. I'm going to take my right fist and punch off to the corner. 1, that's my side kick. And then I want you to hook towards the center. And then back. 1, 2. I want you to feel kind of a snap. Feel that snapping motion. That's what you want in the hook kick. is to feel kind of that snapping. You see how my hip's getting into it? Kind of see that, how your hip turns with it. That's the side hook kick. So from here, the knee comes up, I kick off to the side, and then I pull through and finish. Trying to keep the body straight. That's why we did that at the beginning. If you're really having a hard time with that, the hook kick's going to be even harder. Okay, so I'm left leg forward. Let's try the yapurigi 5 times. Okay, so we're going to try and side kick and then hook through. Hana. 둘. 셋. 넷. 다섯. And then switching feet. Again, you pull the hip back, we prepare. 하나, 둘, 셋. Then we kick off to the angle. 1, 옆으로. 둘, 셋. Okay, then kicking through. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, key up. Roll. Inhale. Show. Go ahead and turn, fix your dobok. Okay, 일시식대리안, one-step sparring. 준비. So on this one, I think I'm in a mirror, so then you can just follow. So I'm raising my left hand right now, but I'm going to call it my right hand. Okay, so this is my left hand, I'm calling it right. So everyone raise your left hand. And everyone raise your right hand. Okay, so 준비 자세. 1번 number 1. 1번. So our left hand prepares on bottom. Nice side step. Sudomaki. 하나. Pick up the toes, pivot. Pick up the toes, pivot again. And then feel the hip turn into a right leg forward back stance. And then the right leg performs the dolyo chagi. And then set it down behind. Baro, step in front, hands stay up. Cross, exhale. Timing count on this one is 2 and 2. So we'll do it one more time. First 2 motions. Shijak. Pause. 2 more. Boro. All the way through. Try and have that pause after the first punch. Hup. Chia. Boro. Ibon is to the other side. Bend the knees, prepare. So now the right hand is on bottom. Left leg steps. Hana. Make sure that elbow is tight. Fingertips about chin height is where it should be. Then pivot, pivot on your heels, punch. Remember, that's the pause. Pivot, drive the weight. High. Right leg steps back, left leg forward, back stance. And then release the kick. And return. Timing count is 2 and 2. Try and smooth out from the second punch so that now there's no break between this position and the kick.